This week we're going to highlight the trade estimates for Friday's USDA supply-demand report and also take a look at the price changes on the day that report is released. We're also going to take a look at the history of December corn futures and then move on and look at harvest progress and weather trends in the U.S. We're going to wrap things up with planting progress trends in Brazil and weather trends there. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. Well, there's no doubt that the USDA supply-demand report, which was released on Friday this week, is the key issue in everybody's minds. Let's take a look at the trade estimates for this report. Now remember, this is the first USDA supply-demand report since September. So what we're looking at here is the trade is forecasting a decrease in the production estimate compared to September, about 250 million bushels there. The yield to come down about 2.7 bushels per acre. And then look at the ending stocks estimate. Despite the smaller crop, the USDA forecast in September was 2.11 billion bushels. The trade is actually expecting a slightly higher ending stocks forecast in this report. That was because of that bearish surprise we saw at the end of September with the grain stocks report and perhaps some adjustments in the demand forecast on Friday. Bottom line, we strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your positions in place prior to the release of the report on Friday, November 14th at 11 a.m. Central Time. Why is that important? Let's take a look at the price change associated with this report. You can see there's a few years there where there isn't much price change, but there's other years where it's been 5, 10, 15 cents a bushel associated with this report. Let's now shift gears and look at the trends in December corn futures. Now December corn is trading near 430 as we tape here on Tuesday. Now of course the crop insurance period is now behind us. That's why it's critical to get control of these 2025 bushels that you recently harvested or are completing harvest at the moment. Speaking of harvest, let's take a look at the history of the corn harvest here in the U.S. Now we're looking here at harvest probably nationwide approaching 90%. On average, U.S. corn harvested increases approximately 8% between November 3rd, November 9th, and the 23rd. So, weather permitting, we'll probably be looking at 95 to 98% of the corn harvest by November 23rd. Of course, the pace of the remaining corn harvest can be directly tied to the weather. Let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm weather. We're looking here at minimal rainfall across most of the Midwest this week. Most of the rain, in fact, is forecast to come this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and it's mainly going to be south. So the areas that are still harvesting, northern plains, parts of the eastern corn belt, just generally light precip. Now let's extend that over the next 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, it looks like it's going to be above to normal because we are looking for more precip next week. What about temperatures? Very warm across the western belt here the next week and normal across the remainder of the belt. Warmest temperatures are going to be seen probably Friday and Saturday of this week. Let's shift gears now and look at planting progress in Brazil. This map shows the key states in Brazil. Planting proceeds south to north in Brazil. Let's take a look at planting progress now. Planting progress is basically complete in those 3 southern states and is moving north now into São Paulo, Minas Gerais, and Goiás. So we'll keep an eye on that for you moving forward. Weather in that area we just highlighted here the next 14 days, basically normal to a little bit dry, so planting should proceed on a normal pace short term. Now if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. And make sure to join us on Friday, November 14th at 1:30 p.m. for a detailed market analysis of the report. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.